China is a poor country. Despite all the propaganda that Xi Jinping and the CCP has been trying to put out, China is poor, and we're uncovering the indicators that show the economy is in a bad shape. I had no idea how bad things were. I knew they were bad, but no idea just how bad. China's economy is shrinking. China is currently trying to devalue the dollar by trying to weaken the dollar. Basically, Xi Jinping thought that BRICS was going to take over, be this big replacement of the US dollar. Like basically BRICS was supposed to be as strong as the US dollar is and remove the whole US supremacy, but it did not work.
Propaganda campaign from China to push this idea of de-dollarization and BRICS, which are the countries of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, that were supposed to challenge the US-led supremacy of the world. Well, the whole BRICS de-dollarization nonsense kind of faded away like usual. BRICS is, at the end of the day, just smoke and mirrors, representing China's domestic projects and its accomplishments. De-dollarization may get trotted out again if there's any big domestic problems, but the new members of BRICS, like Argentina and Egypt and Saudi Arabia, they're not going to push for de-dollarization like was previously discussed. China's none too happy about this. In fact, Argentina has de facto switched to using the USD since the ARS has 100% inflation. Saudi's Rial has been pegged to the USD since 1980, and Egypt has said openly that they trust the transparency of the Federal Reserve, that's the US, more than the PBOC or the Central Bank of Russia.
Also, China's democratic problem means that too many old people that don't have enough young people to take care of them. Also, what contributed to this was the one-child policy, where now all the youngsters are leaving China due to the economic issues and lack of employment and lack of better opportunities and lack of freedom. They're leaving to other countries, and that means in China, what's left is just old people, really old people and really young people. There's like this great democratic problem. The only person who was honest enough about China was Li Keqiang, who recently passed away, who was honest that actually China is really, really poor because there's also this unhealthy gap of wealth. Premier Li Keqiang said this week that China has 600 million people in poverty, and that's like way too many people. Other than Li Keqiang, no one else is being honest about the situation in China. Recently, the manufacturing is moving from China to other countries. The only thing that made China prosperous and rich was the manufacturing. China was the manufacturing place where if you need anything manufactured, it goes there. Take that away, what does China have? Nothing. Recently, Taiwan, India, Mexico, these places have been booming with manufacturing. Foreign investments in China are leaving China to these other countries due to the situation in China where the CCP is trying to take over. China is so good in propaganda, they are hiring people to literally talk. Check this out.
Tell everyone that companies aren't leaving China than to get some random Western dude to eat grapes and tell you that India isn't going to pose a threat to China's iPhone production.
Do you think that, India challenge China's dominance in this well-known product in the future?
I doubt it.
Yeah, I think it can even be said that China has become the apple of Apple's eye. I mean, it is true, though, that some companies have moved some production to Southeast Asia.
We have to admit that.
It is true to some extent.
The actions speak louder than words.
Yeah. What's the facts?
Bro, have some respect!
China also seems to have an endless supply of people that are willing to be shielded for this state propaganda. It has mostly white people that just promote the state propaganda and everything like that. China is really poor despite all the propaganda. There still are over 70 million poor people, which is like 3 times the number of refugees in Europe. There's also a long way to go because the wealth is not concentrated. I think another thing that makes it worse is just how the Chinese people are in terms of their beliefs and how conservative they are, which makes innovation a bit difficult. I think China does have the potential of developing and becoming better, but there's still a long way to go because poverty is not the only crisis plaguing China. We've got air pollution due to there are a lot of people in China, a lot of factories, and we've got food safety, homeland security, aging of the population, resource shortage, and these are things that everyone actually kind of knows. And another thing is that the Chinese economy is really large. Even if China develops, it's too big. There are too many people. Over like 82 million Chinese people live on less than $1 per month.